Hi, it's Kai from SWOOP and I'm with Laurie Lockley, who's our Chief Scientist, and we're here to talk about our 2019 Workplace Benchmarking Report, which is available for download on our website today. Now, Laurie, it was a big job you've undertaken analysing this. Talk to us about the amount of data you've actually analysed.
Well, as you can see, we've got 68 organisations that we've benchmarked, over 630,000 people, so that's a substantial proportion of what workplaces claim with their 2 million paid users now. And as you can see, 12 million interactions, so we actually benchmark what people are actually doing rather than surveying them. So this is action research.
Now, the report is split up into two sections. Talk us about those two sections, Laurie.
Okay, well traditionally the analytics measures organisations, benchmarks organisations, and part of that benchmark we're able to identify who are the best collaborators on Workplace. And for this year, for the first time, we're actually going to recognise those leaders in the report as we do. And more importantly, most of them have agreed to share their stories so that we can tell you about how they're getting business value from using Workplace, having been identified as leaders by SWOOP.
So that's the first part of the report. There's going to be some really interesting case studies that I think we can be inspired by and learn a lot from. As Laurie was saying, the second half is really much more about the metrics, the insights from analysing all these different organisations and interactions. There was a set of key insights that we could derive from that analysis, Laurie. Take us through what were those key 5 main insights.
Okay, well, the first one was the same as last year, that we believe that Workplace is actually delivering on their promise of fast adoption because of the familiar Facebook interface. People are getting on more quickly. The second one, which I think is a very positive one, is that of the 16 measures that we had, 15 of them actually were moving in a better direction, so much more positive, so that's a good story to tell. We also found that there is a separation between those that actually perform very well and the rest. So there are clearly definable leaders that we've identified in the award system. The other thing is that we find that the social groups or the non-work groups are actually adding value to many of those organisations, especially the ones that are large and are connecting people that normally wouldn't connect in their day-to-day work. And I guess finally the overall feeling is that even with the leaders, the vast majority of the people we benchmarked are still in that what we call an information sharing social media frame of working, which we think is fine to start with adoption, but there's a lot more value that we think you need to get to, and that's through actual collaboration, sort of connecting and then delivering on problem solving or innovating with new products or solving more difficult problems for the organisation.
So we use a maturity model, originally, or most of it developed by Simon Terry, that has these stages around connecting, sharing, solving and innovating. And the report is organized so that people can see how they can track themselves through that maturity model. Talk us a little bit more about how those metrics are connected to the model, Laurie.
So you can see here that we have the 16 measures, and they take you through a journey through that initial social media phase, through to social networking where people are actually connecting and meeting and online, of course, mostly. And then finally at the job fulfillment phase is where the rubber hits the road, where we're actually solving real problems and generating new value through innovation. So each of these measures are aligned with different stages, so you can see your journey through our measures.
Now, one of the things we've done this year for the first time is we've looked at what's happening in groups. And the reason why we've done that is because groups is really the engine room of collaboration. So I had the luxury of sitting with Laurie in a session in a not very distant future where we do a deep dive into what does high performing groups actually looks like. As a very quick snippet, Laurie, how many groups did you look at?
Well, we looked at well over 2,500 groups, of which more than half identified as teams or project teams. So the other areas are the discussion groups, the announcement groups, and of course the ones we spoke about, the social or non-work type groups. So we do a deep dive into those, and there's some incredible insights that we've found with them.
Okay, so get on to swoopanalytics.com, download the report today, and then check out the next interview I'm doing with Laurie about group performance. Thank you.